One oil does not fit all. I know that sounds simple, but normal advice can mislead fast. Different engines need different oils, and the right match can save an engine and a wallet. The real key is this: match your oil to your car's specs. Your warranty might even depend on it. I am Morgan Lane. I investigate car problems and safety issues, and I have over 10 years in shops and with recall teams. I have seen engines live long because owners chose well, and I have seen engines die young because a label fooled them. Here is our plan today. Owner's manual first, then your engine's needs, the oil types, the right viscosity, and finally, the real cost per mile. How do you pick the right oil for your car? It starts with your owner's manual. It tells you the exact viscosity and the approval you need, like API SP, ILSAC GF6, or an OEM mark such as Dexos 1 Generation 3. Skipping that step can shorten engine life. As the pros say, follow the oil grade in your owner's manual. Many turbo cars even require synthetic by spec. What did your manual say for oil grade and type? Next, let's decode the bottle so marketing does not steer you wrong. Big labels promise magic. I get it. Shiny bottles and bold words sell hard. But here's the surprise. Full synthetic on the front does not tell you how it performs. Many retail full synthetics are built on Group 3 base oil, which is highly refined crude. That can still be great oil. What matters most are the approvals on the back. Look for the API donut and the ILSAC star, and any maker stamp your car needs like Dexos 1 Generation 3. If two oils both show API SP or ILSAC GF6, they passed the same core tests. That means a store brand that meets the spec can protect just like a fancy brand that meets the same spec. In my investigations, I have seen engines damaged not from cheap oil, but from oil with missing approvals. The bottle looked fine, but it lacked the API and OEM marks the engine required. Price did not save that engine. So I shopped the spec, then the deal. Approval first, brand second. Turbo or warranty on the line? Hold that thought, because those engines raise the stakes even more. Turbo engines run hot and tight. That is how they make power and save fuel. But that heat and pressure are brutal on oil. Here is the rule I use. If your engine has a turbo or direct injection, use the exact synthetic that your manual calls for. Modern specs like API, SP, and ILSAC GF6 were built with these engines in mind. They include extra tests for turbo deposits and low-speed pre-ignition. Many makers now require their own approval too. For example, newer models call for Dexos 1 Generation 3 for warranty coverage. Synthetic oil handles heat better, keeps pressure stable, and resists breakdown far longer than conventional. It is engineered for protection in extreme conditions. I have torn down turbo engines that failed early after someone used a bargain oil without the right approvals. The bearings and the turbo cooked. Not worth it. If your oil cap or manual says synthetic and shows a specific approval, that is the answer. Use it at the interval the manual allows. Also, if the oil pressure light comes on, shut the engine off right away. Now, synthetic rules in heat, but what about deep cold and short trips? Let's go there next. -20 on a Sunday morning. You turn the key. The starter groans. Those first seconds decide a lot of engine wear. Here is why I go synthetic in real winter and for lots of short trips. 0W oils stay fluid in deep cold, so oil pressure builds faster and parts move with less metal-on-metal rub. Group 4 synthetics can remain liquid at around -40 degrees Celsius. A 5W oil is good too, but it thickens sooner than a 0W in hard cold. Many studies agree a big share of engine wear happens at startup. Better flow means quicker protection. And on short 5-mile errands, synthetic fights sludge better because it handles heat and cool cycles without breaking down. If you live where mornings bite, a 0W synthetic in the grade your manual lists is a strong move. Even if you are not in the Arctic, if your drives are mostly short hops, the extra flow helps. If this is useful, Hit subscribe to Recall Roadmap with Morgan and stick around for more safety first tips. Next up, older engines and those high mileage bottles you keep seeing on the shelf. 75,000 miles is a milestone for many cars. At that age, tiny seeps and a little oil use can start. High mileage oil sounds like magic, but it is not a miracle. It is a smart formula for a specific job. Here is what is inside. High mileage oils often use a synthetic blend or a full synthetic base for stability. Then they add extra detergents and dispersants to keep older engines clean. Most important, they include seal conditioners. These chemicals gently swell rubber seals, O-rings, and some gaskets. That swelling can reduce minor seepage and small drips. Think valve cover edges or an aging crank seal that leaves a light spot on your driveway. These formulas are designed for vehicles with about 75,000 miles or more. If your engine is basically healthy, just a bit tired, high mileage can help slow oil use and keep deposits down. I have seen it tidy up little leaks after 1 or 2 oil change cycles. But will it stop every leak? That is the next question, and the answer may save you from false hope. Let's separate myth from reality. Oil on the driveway makes everyone nervous. The high mileage bottle feels like a quick fix. Here's the honest truth from the bay floor. High mileage oil can reduce minor seepage. The seal conditioners sometimes swell old seals enough to stop small drips after a couple of changes. It may also cut light oil burning through older valve guide seals. But it is not a patch kit for a blown gasket, a torn rear main seal, or a cracked cover. No oil can fix a major leak. If you are adding a quart every few days, or smoke trails behind you, that is a mechanical repair. Use high mileage oil as a helper, not a cure-all. If your engine only leaves a faint spot over a week, it is worth a try. If it is leaving a puddle, book a repair. I have inspected cars where high mileage oil bought time, but the gasket still needed replacement. Use the right viscosity and approvals while you test. Still wondering if you can skip synthetic to save cash on an older ride? Sometimes you can, and here is when that makes sense. Old engine, tight budget, simple driving. I hear that a lot. Here is good news. Conventional oil can be a safe choice when used the right way. If your vehicle is older, has no turbo, and the owner's manual allows conventional, you can run it. The key is interval. Do not stretch it. Conventional needs more frequent changes than synthetic. Many folks do every 5,000 miles on conventional, while the same car might allow around 10,000 on synthetic. When you do the math, your oil cost per mile ends up close, and engine wear stays similar as long as you change on time. I have seen 15-year-old cars run smooth for years on conventional with steady, on-time changes. The catch is simple. If your manual calls for synthetic or you have a turbo or direct injection, do not use conventional. Also, always use the correct viscosity and look for API SP or the maker's approval on the label. Up next, let's talk about thickness in cold and heat, and why thicker is safer is not always true. Lake effect, winter on the way. Which oil grade keeps your engine happy at startup? Here is how I choose without guessing. The numbers on the bottle are about thickness. The first number with the W is the cold rating. 0W oils stay fluid in deeper cold than 5W. That means in very cold places, a 0W oil can move faster on start, so bearings and cams see oil sooner. The second number, like 20 or 30, is the hot rating. That tells you how thick the oil is at operating temp. Do not guess thicker. On many modern engines, thicker oil can starve tight passages, hurt variable valve timing, and raise wear. Always follow the viscosity ranges in your owner's manual for your climate. If you live where winters are harsh, your manual may list a 0W option. Warmer regions may use 5W. Match the cold number to your weather, and the hot number to what the maker lists. Now that you know the grade, let's finish by talking real-world cost per mile and how intervals change the math. $15 bottles can make your eyes twitch. But here is the catch. Synthetic often runs about twice the price per bottle, Yet many cars allow about twice the mileage per change when synthetic is used. Simple math helps. If synthetic costs $50 and lasts 10,000 miles, while conventional costs $25, and you change it 5,000 miles, the oil cost per mile is very close. Synthetic can also improve fuel economy a bit and keep the engine cleaner over time. That helps your budget and your engine's life. But do not stretch change intervals on your own. Always follow your owner's manual or the oil life monitor. That is your limit. Pushing beyond it will cost far more than any savings. Also, keep an eye on oil level. Top up if needed between changes, especially on older engines. So which saves more? The answer depends on your car's allowed interval and your driving. Let's bring this together with a simple decision you can use today. Here is your decision map, clean and simple. Under warranty or running a turbo or direct injection. Use the exact synthetic the manual lists. With the right approval like API SP, ILSAC GF 6, or the maker's stamp. Cold climate or lots of short trips? A 0W synthetic in the listed grade helps a ton. Older engine with tiny seeps and higher miles? Try a high-mileage formula in the exact viscosity the manual calls for. It can condition seals and reduce small leaks. Tight budget, older non-turbo, and the manual allows conventional? Conventional can work if you change it on time. For everyone, never exceed the interval the manual or oil life monitor shows, and never ignore the oil pressure light. Your engine's health depends on meeting specs, not on myths or ads. You are watching Recall Roadmap with Morgan, and I would love to help you stay ahead. Subscribe for more safety-first guides, like this one, and share this with a friend who does their own oil changes. Thanks for watching. Which oil will you use at your next change, and which approvals are on your bottle? Check your owner's manual and match viscosity and approvals before your next oil buy.